Parents were obviously a little bit hesitant when we said we were going to quit our full-time jobs to basically become full-time trash men. You're taking a major gamble and starting a business in a very blue-collar industry. It's not being a doctor or a lawyer.
Our purpose is really to move the world. And it kind of has a double meaning because we're a moving and hauling business. So literally, we want to move people, but more importantly, emotionally, we have an opportunity to make a difference, make an impact in people's lives.
We have a huge opportunity to take someone from feeling stress to being stress-free. And that's really our brand promise, stress-free moving and hauling. College Hunks Hauling Junk is a national junk removal and moving service. So what we can do is go in, declutter someone's home. We can also move people from point A to point B. Full service, come in, pack your items, move your stuff, and then move you into your new home.
Right now we're sitting in our 10,000 square foot headquarters based in Ybor City, Tampa, Florida. We acquired and moved into this building about 3 years ago. About 10 years ago, it was just Omar and myself driving around town in Washington, D.C. in a beat-up cargo van.
We first heard about Angie's List back when we got started in 2005. As the years progressed and Angie's List started growing, we began to use it and leverage it more for advertising our services, for connecting with clients. College Hunks today has 80 franchises across the country. We have 1,000 team members. We have a national call center here in Tampa that fields thousands of calls on behalf of all of our franchise owners. Our industry is littered with mediocrity. You see these beat up trucks and you kind of have a bad image of the movers or haulers that are coming into your home. We really want to redefine and reshape the way people experience moving and hauling. Moving is one of the most stressful things in someone's life next to death and divorce. Getting the name out there, having a catchy brand name, bright colors, getting in the press is all part of spreading the name of your company. Reality TV has been a huge driver for us. We were on the very first episode of the very first season of Shark Tank, and that put us on the map. We then were on other shows like CNBC's Blue Collar Millionaire, HGTV House Hunters, Bravo Millionaire Matchmaker, MTV2, Jobs That Don't Suck. So we joke and say that our trucks have been on more reality shows than the Kardashians.
Omar and I have been best friends since we were 15 years old, since 10th grade. We met in high school, and we like to joke that we were partners
in crime back then, and now we're partners in business. Growing up, going to school, I never really knew what I wanted to do. I didn't love science or math or biology, and so I always thought if you didn't fall into one of those categories and get a job, there was really nothing for you.
I've always been a pretty ambitious person, kind of a dreamer of sorts. Growing up, I never envisioned owning a business, or certainly not owning a business like this. I always wanted to be successful, but I don't think I really knew what that meant. I had been kind of brought up to follow that traditional career path of growing the corporate ladder. When people would ask me in college what I wanted to do in the future professionally, I always used to say I want to make enough money where I can then retire and coach basketball full time. I like coaching. I like working with young people. I like molding people's minds and helping educate them. But I also wanted to be successful professionally and financially. I felt like teaching and coaching wouldn't be the vehicle for me to do that, so I had to figure out a way to make a lot of money first, and then I could go do my passion, which would be coaching.
My mom had a beat-up cargo van that she would use for her furniture store for deliveries. We borrowed the van, came up with a catchy name.
College Hunks Hauling Junk was thrown out. We all kind of bust out laughing, but then we started looking around. It was like, oh, this kind of got a catchy name to it.
Put it on some flyers, and we were in business. After doing the business that summer with the van, went back to school my senior year, and there was a business plan contest at the University of Miami. So I submitted a business plan for College Hunks Hauling Junk to the UM business plan contest, and out of about 150 entries, it won first place and $10,000. So I got a big golf check and had a big smile ear to ear. So in the early days when we were out in the truck doing the moving and heavy lifting, Nick and I would be driving the truck, and the 800 number on the side of the truck was forwarded to our cell phone. So, we'd be taking customer calls, writing it down in a binder.
People would call the 800 number to complain about erratic driving. I'd be the one in the driver's seat, answering the phone saying,
"Oh, I'm very sorry about that.
We don't condone that type of driving in our company."
And I'll definitely talk to that employee when he gets in.
We'll talk to those guys when they get back to the office.
So I always joked I probably fired myself 5 or 6 times that summer. Nick is definitely OCD, so he'll come into the office and freak out if, the picture frame isn't right.
The most annoying thing about Omar, I always describe him as kind of a jellyfish in terms of he likes to just kind of float with the current, because I'll be like, worried about every last detail, and Omar's a little bit more laid back, go with the flow, things are going to work themselves out. So In that regard, we actually complement each other very well, from a business perspective.
Working for Nick and Omar has been great. They're best friends, they're business partners, they're amazing working together. They're also extremely different. I've seen them get in scuffles before, but ultimately work it out and move on. Both of them have extreme ambition.
They are so still hands-on and still involved, which is one of the reasons why I came to work here. Is that's an important perk for me, to have easy access to the ones that actually own the business.
They're not your typical CEO and president. They are very in tune with what's going on. Their offices are right here. It's not like they're outside and they come in. They're in the day-to-day, and they hear, they see, they understand, because, well, they were the Hunks, the original Hunks. So they know what it takes, and they're very humble about it. When it comes to the service, we start it right from the very get-go, right from the call. So it could be something like a birth, it could be a death, it could be a promotion. It's not just a move. It's not just junk removal. It is a life-changing event. And with that comes a story. Once we tap into that story, we have a better idea of how we can help our customer.
Our biggest obstacle has definitely been the recession back in 08 and 09. If you imagine people can't pay their mortgage or can't buy groceries, they're not going to pay to have junk hauled away. So it was the lowest point we've had as an organization. I remember kind of sitting in bed thinking, how are we going to get through this? We said, hey, why don't we diversify and add moving services? So we added full service moving, and fast forward today, that's 50% of our revenue comes from moving. Sometimes your lowest point is the biggest opportunity, because it forces you to look in the mirror and say, okay, what can I control and what can I do different?
We're building leaders within our organization. So even though I'm not coaching basketball within this company, I'm coaching on leadership, on professionalism, on customer service.
We've had stuff where a mover's been stuck in an elevator for 30, 40 minutes at a senior community with an elderly lady that can't walk, and actually got on all fours, her to sit on his back until the fire department got there. When the elevator doors opened, someone snapped a picture, and this photo went viral all over the world. And if you wow a client, especially with everything with social media and online referral sites like Angie's List, that good deed can spread to hundreds, if not thousands of people. There's nowhere in the training manual that says, hey, when you're stuck in an elevator, get on all fours and let someone sit on your back. But when you hire purpose-driven individuals, people that fit your core values, these really amazing things happen in the community. Our secret sauce is definitely our team members. And what separates us from other moving and hauling companies is we do not hire movers and haulers. We hire future doctors, future lawyers, future Fortune 500 executives. Our entire purpose and core value is building leaders. So we want to empower young people that are working for us to learn about business and to take, working on the truck like it's their own small business. You can take a simple business, a blue-collar business, put a fresh spin on it, leverage technology, and disrupt industries that people wouldn't think are disruptable. And that's really what motivates us to go out and speak to college students, to go spread the word of College Hunks, is this story that really is the American dream.
Angie's List on 3. 1, 2, 3. Angie's List! Ready?